Hey there, Rob from Active Health Clinic here. And in this video, I wanted to talk about the polyvagal theory. I have spoken about the polyvagal theory before, but wanted to touch on it again. And I wanted to talk about the 3 different levels of the polyvagal theory, but I also wanted to speak about how we can actually change our physiology. So for those who are unfamiliar with what the polyvagal theory is, basically it's a theory of mind, or theory of nervous system really, that states that we as humans and mammal, I think this extends to mammals, but I'll stick with humans because that's the most relevant. We as humans can be in any one of 3, actually I shouldn't say that, you can be in combinations of states, but 3 states essentially of our nervous system. And it's all to do with safety and survival. So our optimal state is our safe and social state, and this utilizes the vagus nerve, particularly the ventral vagus. So the ventral just means front, anatomically speaking, the front. And it connects to things like our facial muscles, our voice box, our ears, our throat, our respiratory muscles, our heart predominantly. So the upper portion of our body. And when this will be engaged when we're feeling safe, when we're not really under any sort of threat. When our nervous system is neurocepting, that's kind of like perceiving, but beneath conscious awareness, that we're feeling safe and secure, basically. And we're going to know that we're there because we will be feeling calm, feeling relaxed, not really feeling agitated, feeling able to socially connect with people in a relatively meaningful way. We're going to be more interested in joyous things and enjoying our experience. As stress levels or arousal or the need for protection, or as there is a demand on our nervous system, our state will change. And this is done automatically by our body and our brain. We'll escalate into our sympathetic nervous system, tone will increase. And this is like a volume knob. So it's never really off. If we're awake, it's at least partially on. It will increase in volume and it will start to get louder, and its influence on our body will become more predominant, and it can actually override the ventral vagal state. So what is the sympathetic pathway? That is otherwise known as fight or flight. So this is our first line of protective action, I guess, that we can take. And our body is geared for mobilization. So resources around our body, systems and resources, are directed towards defending ourselves and surviving, basically. So things along the lines of blood flow moving away from the gut towards our muscles so we can move and defend ourselves. And it's all about immediate survival rather than long-term survival. So yes, digesting food is needed, but not when you're about to be eaten by a bear, So this is a very primitive system, a system that is more equipped for, I suppose, prehistoric days, where there were a lot of other threats around. Anyway, that is the sympathetic branch of our nervous system. And for a long time, it was thought that was basically it. You're either in a stress state or a restful state. But there is a third state, and this goes back to the vagus nerve again, but now we're not looking at the front, we're looking at the back portion of that, and that is technically called the dorsal vagal state. And this one will come online when a threat or stress is perceived as exceeding the capacity of the sympathetic nervous system. So our brain and our nervous system has decided that we can't survive this situation just with our capacity, basically. So it will start to shut things down and energy conserve, basically. Okay, so this can feel like disassociation. It can feel like numbing out. It can feel like our body, basically just shuts down and starts to protect itself. Okay, and this can be physical and it can be emotional, basically. But this part of the vagus nerve is connected lower down into our visceral organs, our gut. We can feel very heavy in our gut, those sorts of things. So they're the three states that one can find themselves in. And we can be in mixed states as well. Like play, for example, has ventral vagal activation and it has sympathetic activation, because we need to be mobile, but we do it in a safe way, a safe and enjoyable way, for example. So this system is more or less automated, I guess, and we can just find ourselves in a fight or flight agitated state, or we can find ourselves in a shut down dorsal state. And it would be handy to know how we can get back to our optimal state, because it is actually quite taxing on our body to be in those states, and that's why it is relevant to these sorts of conditions. They're conditions, these invisible illnesses, because it's really all about energy, how much energy you've got. So you're in an energy taxing state. It's not ideal to stay there. So if you are in a more of a shutdown state, things like introducing some movement, and this could be as little as pressing your tongue to the roof of your mouth, clenching your fist or spreading your fingers out, yawning, moving your eyes, looking around the room, moving your head, just getting some mobilization. The more the better, but start wherever you're capable of. And the reason that gets you out of the shutdown state is because movement is not part of the shutdown state. So you're actually kind of rebooting your body. Now this will get you more into a mobilized sympathetic state, basically. So once you're in there and you still want to get back to a safe, social, calm state, well, from there, it's about doing either calming actions, things that feel safe, things that feel grounding, feeling your feet flat on the ground or on the earth, in the grass, those sorts of things, feeling connected to the present moment. So you can do a noticing exercise where you just scan your environment and consciously notice things in your environment. So you can just consciously, verbally say there's trees, there's leaves, there's birds, there's pictures on the wall, there's the kettle in the kitchen, those sort of things bring you into the present moment. You can also try to discharge some of the bodily energy that you've got, because remember, the sympathetic state is very mobilizing. Our body is being instructed to move. So again, clenching your fists, tensing your leg muscles, stomping your feet, pacing around, not pacing as in having breaks, but pacing, walking around, stretching, things like that, breathing deeply. So these things can just gently wash out some of that energy and make you feel a little bit more relaxed. And if you are in the safe and social state and you want to stay there, it's really about present moment awareness, I think, and doing things that are conducive to that safe and social state. So being around people, trying to enjoy yourself, to enjoy things, do fun things, engage in your life, basically. So again, it's all about being present. So I hope that has been helpful to you, and helpful and useful, all of those things. All right, I will see you on another video. Bye.